Hey guys, I'm Jay. So, my city Nanjing just got connected to a neighboring city, Ma and Shan, by a brand new subway line. This is only the second intercity subway in all of China. Naturally, my cousins and I had to hop on this new light rail to check it out and spend the day exploring Ma Anshan. Honestly, this is my second time here. The first time, I took the high-speed train, which took about 40 minutes. But this time, we got super lucky and caught an express subway with fewer stops. It only took us half an hour. Yeah, you heard that right up. Subway, that's faster than a bullet train. And the best part, for a 70-kilometer trip, about 43 miles, it only cost me $1.30. Talk about a steal. We opened up Xiaohongshu, which is basically the Chinese equivalent of Instagram or Yelp, to find a famous local malatang place. But when we got there, the line was literally bursting out of the door and spilling into the street. Crazy. So, plan B, we found another spot nearby. It was also packed, but the line was only slightly overflowing onto the sidewalk. So we took our chances. While waiting, we pulled out some orange cocoa flavored coffees we'd bought earlier, but hadn't had time to drink. Now, look, I am not a coffee person at all, but this one, it absolutely blew my mind. Zero bitterness, zero sourness. The moment you take a sip, you get this rich cocoa and creamy milk flavor, and then boom, this refreshing hint of orange kicks in. It's so good you just can't stop drinking it. I swear, this is hands down the best coffee I've ever had in my life. Finally, our malatang arrived. The spicy soup here is a bit different. They serve it in a clay pot to keep it piping hot. Look at this. It's still bubbling like a volcano. The absolute soul of this dish is the deep-fried egg. They whisk the eggs and deep-fry them until they get this super airy, sponge-like texture. It acts like a literal sponge, soaking up all that rich broth. One bite, and the soup just bursts in your mouth. It's incredibly addictive. Next up is beef tripe, specifically the cow's first stomach. Its biggest selling point is that insanely crunchy texture. That crunch is exactly why so many people are obsessed with it. Now, this is stinky dry tofu. It's actually different from the usual stinky tofu I have. Normally, stinky tofu smells bad, but tastes amazing. This one, totally the opposite. It didn't smell bad at first, but the second I started chewing, whoo, the funk hit me. Honestly, a little gross. Pig intestines. This place cleaned them perfectly, zero funky smell. They're stewed down until they're super tender and chewy. I love it. This is called a pissing beef ball. Hilarious name, I know. But it's called that because the hot soup inside can literally squirt everywhere when you bite into it. It has two layers. The outside is beef that's been pounded into a bouncy paste, and the inside is juicy minced beef. The texture contrast is awesome. Big fan! And finally, corn sausage, my absolute favorite. It's a pork sausage stuffed with sweet corn kernels, giving it this amazing, sweet and savory flavor. Next up, we headed to a fried skewer shop that was highly recommended online. But jokes on USD had so many customers today that they completely ran out of sauce. With our plans ruined, we could only wander around the streets. But then, we stumbled upon a closed travel agency window, and looking at their prices honestly broke my brain. Travel in China can be insanely cheap. A 2-day weekend getaway starts at just $30, and even the most expensive option was only $65. Keep in mind, that price includes everything: your hotel, meals, bus tickets, and all entrance fees. Want more? A 5-day trip to Chongqing, including 2 round-trip plane tickets, was only $290. And a 6-day international trip to Singapore and Malaysia, just $440. Even in Chinese yuan, I thought this was dirt cheap. Now that I've converted it to US dollars for this video, I know you guys are probably screaming at your screens right now. Later on, while waiting outside a fermented rice wine shop, we actually ran into the same people who were waiting in that crazy line at the first malatang place. They told us they waited for 2 whole hours just to get food. Thank God we were smart enough to bounce. By the way, Juniang is a traditional Chinese sweet drink made from fermented rice, and it has a tiny bit of alcohol. They actually dig a little hole in the middle of the rice cake so the delicious liquid can pool up inside. We ordered a cup of Juniang with red beans for $1.20. And right next door, we grabbed some fresh, hot Chinese-style fried chicken for $1.40. The red beans in the rice drink were glazed with honey, making them super sweet, but the refreshing, tangy rice wine balanced it out perfectly. A match made in heaven, I loved it. As for the fried chicken, the skin was incredibly crispy. They load up the batter and the meat with tons of local spices, giving it a really rich, savory flavor profile. The meat wasn't bursting with juice, but it wasn't dry either. If I had to rate it, I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10.